Well, we meet again. How's it going, guys? This is Kingelffe, and you may have noticed I've been gone for a little bit, and I promise I am going to explain why, but I have a little bit of a progress update for you today, and we're going to go through the stuff that I've done in my world since our last video, which was like 2.5 months ago or something like that. But I also need to bring you a little bit of a life update so that you understand why I've been gone for 2 months, because there's a good reason. And yeah, I want to tell you the new channel direction as well, because obviously since I've been gone for so long, you guys have probably figured out I've been busy, and I'm going to continue to be busy too. But I have a little bit more free time now, so hopefully we can get back to playing a little bit of Minecraft here. But first off, let's fly over to the village that we built in our last episode back in like March. Jeez, it's the beginning of June now. It really has been a minute. But yeah, we put this together in our last episode. A nice little village for our farming island here. And I really like how it turned out. We still have a lot of work to do, but time for the big reveal. I had an episode in the works after episode 8, I believe it was, when we built this village. And there was a lot of progress made on it. But unfortunately, while I was recording it, I had a bunch of brownouts and everything like that, so I had a lot of corrupted footage, and the stuff that was salvageable didn't make sense together because I was patching together corrupted and uncorrupted footage, so I just wound up scrapping the entire thing. But when I step around this building here, you will understand what kind of episode it was going to be. It was a building episode, and we were terraforming another island and building a little structure, and by little structure I mean that. So yeah, in the Lost episode we built a big factory over on this island, and we terraformed the entire island too, so a lot of progress was unfortunately lost in those footage. Wow, I can't talk, it's been a minute, I'm a little rusty in the footage that we lost. But yeah, this is gonna be my main base this season, I think. And I am sorry that I couldn't show you guys the building process, but let me explain to you what the idea is. You may remember that I said I wanted to have a laboratory with a bunch of mobs and stuff in it that we're going to carry over from the overworld. And this is going to be said factory. Did I say factory? I meant lab. Where the word factory comes in is tying it into the environment around us. Because if I built a really clean looking factory or a really futuristic looking factory, it wasn't exactly going to fit in with the wizard tower over there or the farming village over there or any of the other builds that I have planned for this world either. So I had to think of a way to blend a laboratory in with the surrounding world. And although it doesn't fit perfectly in, the style fits a little better than a lab. There we go. But yeah, I built this old style factory around the lab, and on the inside it is a lot cleaner looking. Right now I don't exactly have an entrance other than this hole in the roof, but this is the progress on the inside. So the entire reason that I built this thing in the Lost episode is because I needed a storage system that was outside of the tower because it was completely full. So yeah, I literally built this entire thing just so I could make this in that episode, and I have transferred all of my items over to here, so we're fully moved into this factory too. And I was just figuring out the floors and how we're gonna lay everything out, and I was switching out the floor too because originally I had it all as calcite, which doesn't look too bad in these hallways here, but when you get these big areas here, it doesn't look so great. And let me tell you, it looked even worse in this area over here. It was just a giant white blob. So the smooth stone blocks, they look much nicer as a floor, and they still fit with the lab look, I think. So up on this main level here is where we're gonna have all of our utility stuff. So we're gonna have our storage system over here. Obviously, we're gonna have bulk storage around here somewhere. In there, we're gonna have a super smelter. In here, I haven't quite decided what we're gonna have, but I mean, we got lots of space. Maybe this will be bulk storage. And then we have this hole in the floor, which is going to lead down to where our laboratory is going to be. So with all of our mobs and cages and everything like that, that's going to be below the floor here. And we're going to have a staircase maybe around here leading downwards. And that's something we'll work on in a future episode. You may have also noticed that I placed a bunch of wheat on the fields over there in front of the village. And I plan on filling that out even more. It's just placing a bunch of wheat is really dull, and having to place all the water sources is even more dull. So yeah, small little bites. But yeah, that's kind of the progress update for this world. I haven't finished the terraforming around here either. As you'll notice, we still have some flat cliffs, but over time I'll kind of rough this up a little bit. That way it looks a lot better. But now it's time for that life update that I promised you and the explanation as to why I've been gone for 2 months. 3 months? 2 or 3 months now at this point. And I think while I deliver this little update, we're going to go collect some resources that we need for a future project. I believe the desert is off in this direction because we're going to need sand for one of our next projects, and I'll leave that as a little bit of a surprise what we're going to be doing with it. I'll let you guess as well. You know, I've been flying for a while. I'm starting to think I went in the wrong direction. There's some pretty big beaches, but they're no desert, and I've got to be careful about generating new terrain here, so I guess it's time to look back at my screenshots. Yep, I flew in the very wrong direction. Time to reorient myself here. So that way and that way. Okay, we need to get to negative 3,500 and negative 1420. There's the desert, I think. Oh wait, no, this is a swamp. Well, I feel real smart. I looked at a screenshot from the wrong world. Somehow I still wound up in a sandy area, but guess what? I was heading in the right direction, and I was almost there when I turned around. So we're just going to take sand from here. That moment when you realize you're so rusty that you forgot to hit record on the entire 10-minute section that you just tried to record. Good job, King. Anyways, let's take this from the top again. So, as some of you may know, I was without a job for quite some time because of, you know, everything that was going on in the world. It was hard to find a job, and especially with me being a high-risk person with asthma, it was also kind of dangerous for me to get a job for quite some time there. But now that everything is starting to calm down, I really needed to get the job situation sorted out because I was extremely broke. I was defaulting on bills, and things were starting to get very bad. And unfortunately, in my area, there was basically no one hiring for what I'm able to work right now. And as such, I had to kind of expand my horizons and look elsewhere. I was eventually offered a job after several months of searching, and things were getting quite bad and quite desperate. So I kind of had to take whatever came my way. And the job that I was offered, it had its pros, but it also had its cons. At the end of the day, after debating for quite a while, I did decide that, you know, although it had quite a few drawbacks, I really just had to take any job I was offered, so I wound up accepting the job. However, that made it a little difficult to record because of said drawbacks. Like I said before, there was no one really hiring in my area, so I did have to look outside of my area to find a job. And for anyone who knows Canadian geography, Canada's kind of big. I was living on the west side of Canada at the time, and I was offered a job on the east side of Canada. And for anyone who knows a little bit about Canadian geography, like I said, you'll know that's not exactly a small move. That's basically like if someone had to traverse all of Europe to get to their job. But like I said, I was kind of desperate, so I took the job and I moved to the east side of Canada. Now, thankfully, I do have contacts out here because I've lived out here before. Quite a few years ago, I actually did live out here. In fact, when I started doing YouTube and when I joined Enigma and everything, I was living out here. But I wound up going back to my family during, you know, I've got to remind myself that I can't really talk about that on YouTube sometimes. But you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, I moved from the west coast of Canada to the east coast of Canada, and I'm now living out here with one of my friends. But because I'm in a house with several other people and a couple dogs, it's hard to find quiet time to record because of the other drawback of that job that I accepted. It was a night position. I was working overnights, which meant that while I was at work, everyone was asleep, and while I was at home, everyone was awake, which meant that there was really no quiet time in the house for me to record. Then on top of that, I was trying to train myself to be on an overnight schedule rather than a day schedule like I've been on for many, many years. So it was a little bit of a rough transition, and yeah, that made it very difficult to record anything at all. But anyways, that was at the beginning of April that this happened. So basically the same time that I stopped uploading videos. So a couple weeks go by and I'm starting to adjust to the new job. There's only one setback. I absolutely hated it. The company I was working for, it was kind of like interior construction a little bit, I guess. We were renovating a store, and the people I was working with were a little rough around the edges, I guess we'll say. And when they found out that I was a computer person and that I was taking computer programming courses in school, they were less than kind to me, despite the fact that I knew exactly what I was doing during this job because I had actually run projects like this before at my old store, and the fact that I could, still lift more than most of the people at that job. I was still regarded as the geek, and everyone kind of took their turns making fun of me and yada yada yada, but I tried not to let it bother me too much. Just came in, did my job, went home. But unfortunately, that wasn't the only drawback of this work. They had zero regard for health and safety, and that unfortunately did come back to kind of bite me, because as some of you who have been with me for a while may know, I have a bad knee. A couple years back, I actually broke my knee, and it never fully healed. I have permanent cartilage damage in my right knee, and I was having issues with my knee one day, and I asked if I could take the day off. My boss said no, and made me come to work anyways, and it didn't end well. They wound up sending me up a ladder, and I came down in a very bad way. I was coming down the ladder, my knee buckled, and I tried to stabilize myself with my left knee because, well, that was my good one. I'm getting my lefts and my rights mixed up. I broke my left knee, and I tried to stabilize myself with my right knee. There we go, now we're back on track. But anyways, I tried to stabilize myself with my right knee, and unfortunately it twisted and it popped, and I wound up having to go to the hospital. Now, thankfully, because I live in Canada, that was all free and everything like that, so you don't have to worry about me incurring more debt because of that. But anyways, I went to the hospital and I found out that I had actually torn the meniscus in my right knee. And that was the middle of April. So yeah, I'd only been at the job for like 2 weeks at this point. And I'm still recovering. I still can't walk, but recovery is coming along. I'm going to physiotherapy a couple times a week. I have check-ins with specialists from a place called WSIB, so essentially the people who deal with workplace injuries in Canada. And thankfully I didn't lose much wage either from the injury, because if you get injured on the job in Canada, the government will actually pay you. So yeah, it's been not too bad. I got out of a bad situation in the job through an injury, unfortunately, but I still managed to get out. But anyways, I knew that I didn't want to stay at that job, so while I was, incapacitated, I was looking for other jobs, and thankfully one actually did come along. I'm not going to give too many details on what I do now because I don't want to give away too many details of my personal life, but for anyone who knows, previously, I was going to school for computer programming, and I am now in that field. So I am doing some coding, and I managed to quit that job, gave him a big middle finger and left, and I'm doing great now. I'm working a 9-to-5 job, and I don't have to deal with ladders. This is trippy. But yeah, I'm quite happy in my new position, and with it being 9 to 5, that means that during the evening, while people are sleeping, I'm not necessarily asleep yet. So that gives me some time to record again. I just have to make sure that I'm mindful of the other people in the house, because my computer is in somewhat of a public area. So I have to make sure that I'm not too loud or anything like that. But the good news is we can get back to recording now. I don't have too much time to record because obviously I do still have my personal life to attend to. Family, friends, girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. So during the day, I'm usually pretty busy because I also, like I said, work. But during the evenings from say 10 o'clock to maybe midnight, I have free time to record. So I'm going to start recording videos on this world again because, as you may know, 119 is right around the corner. I'm recording this on what's the day? June 5th. June 5th, and 119 releases on June 7th. So the next time we're on this world, we're going to be in 119. So we got lots of stuff we can do here. We have that new factory / laboratory that we just built that we got to fill out. I've got plans for some of the other outer islands in the world. I have another project that I'm collecting all this sand for that I'm not going to quite reveal yet. So yeah, we got lots of stuff that we can work on in this world, but we're going to change up the format of the videos a little bit. In the past, I've spent like a week or so working on videos, and it's been giant mega projects and stuff like that we've condensed into one video with time lapses or montages or whatever it may be. But obviously, since I only have like 2 hours a day to record now, yeah, that's not exactly going to work unless you want me to work on a video for like a month or two before releasing it. So we're going to have to break videos down into more bite-sized, manageable pieces. So what I'll probably end up doing is it'll be more ethos-style videos, I guess you could speak king. Pronounce... I messed up that sentence too. Pronounce your words properly and use proper grammar. Damn it. Anyways, more ethos-style videos that are more... bring you along for the ride while we do smaller projects and we progress through things together. I'll probably, well, not probably, I'll still have big projects that I'm working on because obviously everything I work on is kind of large in scale, but I'll be bringing you along for the ride, and I may be working on some bigger projects in the background that I won't show you for like a couple weeks to a month, and then I'll have a bigger episode that encompasses all of what I've been working on during that time. But that won't stop us from uploading episodes in between as well. And we also have something else coming up for recording as well, and that is Runic. So yeah, that was one of my last episodes that I uploaded, and it was episode 1 of season 1, and it was supposed to be a short season leading up to 119, and that's still the plan. So yeah, my next episode of Runic is probably going to be season 2, episode 1, unless I can somehow record like just what we've done on the server in the past few months. I might do something like that for like episode 2 of Runic season 1, but yeah, Runic season 1's a little bit of a bust for me. But the good news is I do have big plans for season 2, because this is going to be a long season. It's going to last until whenever the next Minecraft update comes out. Oh, ghost block. So that means we're probably looking at like 8 months to a year before we update this world. And I already have exactly what I'm going to do planned out. I'm just working on it in a creative world right now so I can kind of game plan things. But I'm really excited to show you what I have planned for that world. And once again, for Runic videos, it'll probably follow the same style that I just outlined for our hardcore world, because my time that I have to record hasn't changed. So yeah, that's kind of the plan moving forward in terms of recording. We're going to keep recording on our hardcore world, we're going to start season 2 of Runic, and we're going to have a good time. If I can, I'll try and get more frequent videos out to you guys. What I'll likely do is, like I said, I have about 2 hours a night that I can record. So what I'll try and do is maybe get like 2 or 3 days worth of recording done and then make a video out of that. So hopefully 1 video every week, maybe 2 a week, depending on how I'm doing. Because there are going to be some nights, even though I have 2 hours to record, I don't necessarily want to record every night either. Some nights I'm just going to want to relax. So yeah, we'll aim for 1 video a week, 2 tops, and we'll see how it goes from there. Now, the other sad announcement is live streams. So live streams aren't exactly going to work in my current situation, not until I can afford to buy myself like a desk and move my computer into my room. And also there's the matter of internet as well. The internet where I'm living right now is nowhere good enough to be able to stream anything in higher than like 144p. So unless you want to watch like a Tamagotchi slideshow of me sounding like a robot for a couple hours while I have dogs barking in the background and possibly people arguing, yeah, streams are going to be on kind of like an indefinite hold for now, until I'm in a situation where I can resume streaming again. Because don't get me wrong, I love streaming and I want to get back into it. I just can't right now. But yeah, guys, that is the update for this world and kind of what's going on in my life. So you guys know that I haven't just like abandoned YouTube altogether. It's just I was incapable of recording with the time that I had and the situation I was in. But with any luck, things have turned around and I'm starting to go uphill again. So I should be able to start getting videos out for you guys again, and also for myself too, because I really like doing this, and I didn't want to stop, it's just I had to. So yeah, expect episode 9 of the hardcore series to be coming out soon, because I don't count this as an episode, so this is just going to be an update video. I'm not even going to list it in the hardcore series, I don't think. But yeah, episode 9 coming soon, as well as Runic, that's what it's called, you know, that server that I run. Runic Season 2 Episode 1 coming shortly after 1.19 releases. We gotta wait for Paper to release a stable version so that we can, you know, run our server. But after that comes out, you best believe we're gonna be starting up ASAP. And one last little note, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's been watching my videos and subscribing over the last little bit. Even though I've been inactive, my channel has been doing pretty well, I'd say, honestly. In the time that I've been inactive, we've gained like 300 subscribers or something like that, so thank you everyone who's subscribed in the last little bit, and an even bigger thank you to everyone who's stuck by me while I've been away. I am back now, so thank you for sticking by me and your support and everything, and I will see you guys whenever I upload my next video, hopefully within the next week or so. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.